When I talk with business owners running companies between 3 million and 10 million in revenue, they usually admit they expected something very different when they finally invested in marketing support. And this is because they thought bringing on people or an agency would take most of the marketing decisions off of their plate. But the reality is that they still find themselves completely drained because the underlying responsibility of marketing never really shifted to someone else. And every single choice about what to do, when to do it, and exactly how much money to spend still lands right back on them. Welcome to The Simple Truth About Marketing. I'm Kelly Rice, and I've been a fractional CMO for small and service-based businesses for more than 25 years. And in this series, we spend under 15 minutes cutting through the chaos to look at what it actually takes to move from just doing marketing tasks to actually building a system that drives business growth. So today, we are talking about why marketing decisions keep falling back on the owner and why simply changing execution support rarely solves this frustration for you. So in my experience, once your business scales past that $5 million mark, the gap between having people who can execute marketing tasks and having someone who can strategically develop and lead the system becomes very obvious. And it's a common breakdown, and it happens because you have outgrown task-based marketing. What I see most often is that business owners try to fix it by throwing more people or agencies into the mix, but those solutions only focus on execution, not building a dependable marketing system. And you can see this as it shows up in your daily life with things like your inbox fills up with questions about web copy, target audiences, or new tactics that someone wants to try from the very people you hired to take those decisions off your plate. And in reality, you're probably still spending hours reviewing reports that are filled with, in my opinion, useless data because you can't connect the activity to actual business growth. So instead of focusing on high-level growth or operations like you want to, you're really frustrated because you're paying for marketing support, but the responsibility of making sure that investment pays off stays entirely in your hands. But from my experience, I can tell you that this frustration happens in almost every single service-based business with annual revenue between 3 and 10 million. And there really are three distinct reasons why this happens. So first, most agencies and freelancers and internal coordinators and marketing people are built for execution, not marketing leadership. So what I mean by that is that they excel in completing the tasks that you've hired them to do, but they don't possess the broad context of your business operations, your marketing, or really your long-term financial goals. And they can't tie that back to their marketing activity. And because their focus is on output rather than direction, they naturally look to you to set the strategy. And then second, if you don't have a dedicated marketing leader inside your business, you naturally become the default filter for every question and every marketing decision. So if your SEO partner has an idea or your paid vendor wants to change a budget or your web developer wants to do something differently, you are the one that has to determine if you should do it and if those changes will help your business grow. So it's just natural that marketing stays on your plate because there is no one else responsible for keeping your marketing efforts aligned. And then third, and you may have already experienced this, but the tactical complexity of marketing increases as you grow. So if you think back and remember when you were just managing like a basic website and word of mouth referrals and a few ads, those required very little of your time. But as you've grown, you've had to figure out paid social and Google local ads and SEO and email campaigns and video development on top of trying to understand how AI actually impacts your marketing efforts and your overall results. So the sheer volume of these moving parts shows you that you've quickly outgrown execution-only responsibilities, but it still leaves you stuck playing the marketing director role instead of leading your business. So when these three things happen and marketing begins to feel overwhelming, the most common response I see is to swap out your execution support. And this is because you assume that if you're still stuck managing the details, you must have the wrong agency or the wrong people in place. So you rotate vendors, you hire a new freelancer, you sign up for something different, hoping that it will require less of your time. But on the other hand, Other business owners think that the answer is hiring a full-time in-house chief marketing officer. But for businesses earning $3 million to $10 million, adding that corporate salary and benefits and massive overhead to payroll is rarely the best financial decision. So you're probably feeling stuck in this continuous cycle of having to manage internal teams yourself, even though you realize there is a fundamental difference between the skills needed to implement marketing tasks and the skills required to lead business growth. But I can tell you that things start to look completely different the moment you shift your focus from an execution structure to a leadership one. So the next time you find yourself reviewing a marketing report or fielding questions from your marketing team, take a step back and ask yourself one simple question. Am I spending my time managing marketing tasks, or am I leading business growth? And if your answer leans more towards managing marketing tasks and you want to get out of that responsibility, you need someone whose primary responsibility is to own the strategy and the results so that they can protect your marketing investment. So this is why, in my opinion, a hybrid marketing position makes the most sense for a growing service business, because a fractional CMO will give you executive level marketing leadership and oversight, but on a part-time basis and without the cost or the overhead of a full-time employee. And in my experience, when you have the right leader directing the strategy and the work, the entire dynamic of your business changes. And this is because your business will have a structured growth plan, and your team and vendors will get clear guardrails that they need to be able to perform the tasks that you need them to do. And you will get the direct high-level answers you need to make better financial and business decisions. And when the right marketing leadership is in place, you are no longer stuck trying to figure out everything on your own, and you can finally focus your time on leading the growth of your business instead of managing daily marketing activities. So, if marketing continues to feel like an operational burden, it simply means your business has reached a level where you can no longer afford to be the default marketing director. Because when you are the only person connecting the dots between all of your marketing efforts, the responsibility of figuring out what to do next will always stay with you. And that's your simple truth for today. If you're feeling the frustration of managing too many moving parts without seeing a clear return, remember, it's a structural challenge, not usually an execution one. And it just means that you have simply outgrown task-based marketing, and it's time for strategic leadership. You can find the full script from today's conversation along with resources to help you evaluate your current marketing leadership needs over at thesimpletruthAboutMarketing.com. And if you found this episode helpful, go ahead and hit the subscribe or follow button on whatever player you're listening to so you never miss a conversation. I'm Kelly Rice. Thanks so much for listening.